Hey, a win is a win. Welcome back to Street Scores. It's your boy Rico giving y'all the 2017 Week 6 review edition of Redskins Report. There's not much of anything very interesting outside the game itself to report on, so I'm going to get right into this review. Let's get it.
Why did he? What's that?
Our 26-24 nail-biting victory over the 49ers had 75,568 fans in attendance. Y'all already know I'm about to hit y'all with these stats this entire episode, but now it's time for the good, bad, and the ugly, starting with the offense. After week 6, our offense is first in the NFL in third and long percentage with 48% converted into first downs. We are tied for first in the NFL for 4th and 1 conversions with 100%. We are now first in the NFC and second in the NFL in lowest 3-and-out drive percentage at only 14.5%. So we basically only punt the ball 14.5% of our possessions. We are ranked second in the NFL in points scored on first offensive possessions with 24. Good to see that we come out swinging. We just have a problem of allowing people to come back into the game. And there's a lot more stats we should be proud of, but I'm going to stop here with the stats stuffing. But let's start with the quarterback. Kirk Cousins. He had 330 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception in an inconsistent game. But he turned it on when we needed him most in the fourth quarter. Moments throughout the game, he was missing throws to open receivers, most notably Terrell Pryor. He was inaccurate at times and also very accurate at times. His one interception was basically a punt, so you can't really fault him for that.
Still a third down for Cousins, and going deep, way over everybody, and this one is picked off. He floated it.
But he did throw a bad pass that should have been intercepted the play before the actual interception, and I had to make sure I noted that, even if it doesn't show up in the stat sheet. But in the first half, Kirk Cousins and the Redskins offense was looking unstoppable. First drive of the game, Kirk Cousins led the Redskins to a very efficient touchdown drive. He threw a nicely timed screen to Thompson for a big gain. Then later on, he made a difficult throw to Samaje Perine on 3rd and 1 for a first down to continue to drive.
80 yards from the 32, Cousins to throw, catch made by Perine, and down the sideline he goes. Ball comes out once he was out of bounds.
And then he threw a nice throw to Josh Doxson, who was covered pretty well.
Cousins to the middle of the field, complete, and that is a Redskin touchdown, Josh Doxson.
First round draft pick, finally starting to become the pull guy now. That's where his game is really starting to.
And Josh Doxson wasn't even his first read. He looked to the right side of the field, more than likely looking at Thompson, and then saw Josh Doxson coming across the middle of the end zone from the left side of the field. Shouts out to the O-line for even allowing him to do that, but I'm going to talk about them next. Kirk had some poor throws, but for the most part, he had some great throws and a couple of clutch runs. He had an accurate, well-timed throw to Jamison Crowder in the second quarter.
Cousins throw. Crowder gets the first down.
Kirk also ran through several reads before dumping it off to Samaje for a touchdown in the second quarter.
Beeline the back. Cousins the football. For the rookie, he's got it. Into the end zone.
It looks like Kirk looked at everybody but Samaje until he looked at Samaje. And again, the fact that he even had enough time to make at least 4 reads is crazy. The O-line was playing their tail off, but that's later. Kirk wasn't scared out there, y'all. When the game was tied 17-17 and we badly needed some points, on 2nd and 10, Kirk made some reads and moved around the pocket well, but then ultimately decided to take off.
Change in turnovers have changed this game. Cousins gets the first down, protects the football to the 43-yard line.
Across his formation, I don't think that's timed up right. Look, he runs into the opposite side of the field, and that's a broken play from the beginning. So it's a good job by Kirk Cousins recognizing it. And how about this finish on the run by your quarterback? Two hands up.
You see that boy beating his feet? And most importantly, the way he fell forward for a few more yards, also while placing both his arms around the ball to protect it, showing some heart. Kirk said after the game that Trent Williams told him he needs to protect himself immediately after that play, while Spencer Long and Brandon Sheriff rebutted and said they both loved it. And I loved it too. It sparked something in the team. It was similar to that DJ Swearinger hit on Marshawn in the Raiders game. It woke the Redskins up a little, got them a little hype. And Kirk was really clutching those 2 10-point scoring drives. Kirk has led 9 fourth-quarter drives to take the lead in just 37 starts. So he's basically led game-winning drives in a quarter of the games he started in. Whether the defense played well enough to keep the lead and win is another story and not on Kirk. And I love the play call for him to re-option that game-winning touchdown when he decided to keep it rather than hand it off to Samaji.
Gonna call that on 1st and goal. Cousins has it. Kirk Cousins, touchdown Redskins.
Job, Solomon Thomas, he's going to go right in. 94, he's going down. He pulls it out. There's no contain there on the run. It's an easy walk-in for Kirk Cousins.
Well, look at that boy beating his feet again. Buddy on the move sometimes. I love it. Now onto this offensive line. Greatness. The pass protection and the run protection were great. We couldn't run the ball, but that was at the fault of the tight ends, which I'm going to touch on later. But Trent Williams, who was playing in a lot of pain and was out there playing his tail off, he didn't practice at all the past 2 weeks, no physical activity, and still found a way to play the entire game and played as well as an all-pro tackle is supposed to play. I don't even know how to thank him properly. Sean Laval and Spencer Long have improved a lot, and Morgan Moses, even though he is due for a false start penalty almost every game, he played well after having a bye week to finally heal up some. His best game of the season so far. And then we have Brandon Sheriff, former 1st round pick from Iowa, playing lights out. He pancaked 3 players in this one game, laying them right on their backs. He also didn't allow a single pressure on 39 pass blocking snaps. That's a 100% pass blocking efficiency. The refs hated on him with that unnecessary roughness call, one of the many terrible calls of the day for both teams. The refs just had to hate on him somehow. His back was to the play, so how was he supposed to know the play was over? He was simply driving somebody so far back that the refs were like, alright, he has to be cheating somehow. Blow the whistle. Pro Football Focus has him ranked as the 2nd best run blocking guard in the league and the 3rd best guard in the league, period. He's only been in the league for 2 years, y'all. But this offensive line unit is dominant. Shouts out to offensive line coach Bill Callahan. We stole him from the Cowboys. Definitely a top 5 offensive line in this league in my opinion. Now that Sean Laval and Spencer Long are playing better and holding their own weight in the deal, this line is impenetrable. I mean, look at this one play where Kirk Cousins has almost 4 seconds to throw the ball.
After a 46-yard punt, no return. Cousins with time and open. Terrell Pryor, 1st down.
You know how much other quarterbacks in this league wish they had that? You know how much Kirk Cousins wish he had that the last 2 years? Now the running backs, they played well too. Samaji had his best game of the season so far. He had some fumble scares, but none of them turned out to be costly. He was running near the sideline when he let the ball pop out from a hit, so it went straight out of bounds and didn't matter.
To throw, catch made by Pirine, and down the sideline he goes. Ball comes out.
But it's still noteworthy to me. But he had a good game, kept his feet moving, and he had that touchdown from Kirk Cousins like I showed earlier.
Pirine the back. Cousins the football. For the rookie, he's got it into the end zone.
Chris Thompson was once again our most dynamic offensive player, but beyond his running and catching, his pass protection was great against the 49ers. I'm very happy to see that. But of course, his running and catching was great. I'm glad to see the Redskins at least increase his opportunities in the run game. We didn't get to run a lot, but he was clearly the lead back, and he showed that he can even run in the middle of the trenches. He ran through the A-gap for a good gain here.
Thompson with a 1st down.
He had burst and kept his feet moving after contact too. He also showed some Le'Veon Bell level of patience with this run.
Chris Thompson cuts back, makes something out of that to get up to the 33.
And of course his threat in the screen game is crazy. Here's one.
Pressure coming. He has to unload it to Thompson, who's got plenty of room with a 1st down. And he's all the way down down to the 42-yard.
On the screen, it's really well done. Time's up well. Great play call into the face of that blitz.
Pickup of 23 yards, spotted at the 41 of the 40.
And another one.
Cousins on a little screen to Chris Thompson with blockers everywhere. And he's all the way up to the 35-yard line.
It's fantastic. You know, it's your big tackle, your center, great timing. I mean, Brandon Sheriff, he's just knocking people down in the secondary. And when you can run the football by being able to pull those guys, get them out on the edge and screen.
And then there's this big one.
25-yard line of Washington. Chris Thompson slips a tackle. And there he goes. Chris Thompson is loose. Down to the 25 of the 49ers.
Watch. Get him up the field. Peel back. Oh, didn't get a good little peel back right there. Oh, your running back makes a miss, but when you're retracing on that screen, he's going to make...
In that one, he was patient behind blockers, using his ability to make people miss, making catches look easy. But the one petty thing that I hate he allows, he always lets people catch him from behind.
There we go. Chris Thompson is loose.
We ended up getting 3 points instead of 7 or 6 with how Dustin Hopkins' hurt self was kicking. I just don't like how he allows himself to get caught from behind by DBs. It's a whole difference of 4 points. But not to stay on this case too long, linebackers couldn't cover him on routes.
Begin the fourth quarter tie. Pass is caught by Chris Thompson, slips a tackle inside the 30.
One-on-one underneath. Brock Coyle right over the center. He's going to match him up. That's just not fair right there. You can see how much open space there is right there. They had all the receivers downfield. They opened it up, isolated Brock Coyle.
And I love how Chris Thompson made this great play and didn't even celebrate for a second. This is when we were tied up and tired of letting teams come back. He and other Redskin players were ready to get right back to work. No playtime. Serious business. And as of now, Chris Thompson is on pace to carry the ball 100 times and surpass 1,000 yards receiving in one season. That's something only 3 other running backs in NFL history have done. He also averages a league best 18.28 yards after the catch. He has gained a league high 329 yards after the catch, which is 77 more than anyone else. And even crazier, the other 9 players in the top 10 have played 6 games, while Chris Thompson has only played 5. GOAT status. Mack Brown played in only 4 snaps and was relatively productive during those snaps. He got the ball 3 of those snaps. One of the touches, he had a career-long 11-yard reception for a first down. I don't know why he doesn't get more chances. I feel like he has some potential to be a great back for us, but he just doesn't get the opportunities to really show it in live games. Our tight ends did well in receiving, but their blocking was atrocious. They are the sole reason we couldn't run the ball. Jordan Reed has some nice pass catch plays like these.
2nd and 19 for Cousins. Jordan Reed.
Jordan Reed just going to run down the field, shut it down, set timing as soon as he turns around the...
Cousins, Jordan Reed.
And Vernon Davis had another big play. Kirk threw a nice pass to Vernon Davis in stride on the same vertical play that torched the Chiefs a couple of weeks ago.
Pressure coming, throw open, and there he goes. Vernon Davis. Looping and circling. And eventually...
Does he not know which direction the end zone is? I mean, it's the 2nd straight week he's done that. But them 2 tight ends couldn't block a soul on Sunday. There was even one play where Vernon Davis blocked so poorly that he ended up tripping Trent Williams, and both of them fell down, and the play was just doomed from the start. Vernon Davis also had a costly fumble that later resulted in a touchdown.
Dollars to relief. We're thinking about you. Vernon Davis brought down at the 42-yard line. Ball comes out at the end. The 49ers have it. It's a takeaway for...
Play was over. He's down right there. I think he's down. I think the forearm is down before that ball comes out.
Look at on replay here. Here's a better view, Daryl.
Will be reviewed.
Wow.
Even though he didn't actually fumble in my opinion. So I can't knock him for that. He was just fighting for extra yards. But the theme of the day for them tight ends is that they have to improve their blocking. We can't win games with them holding out that red rag when the bull is coming. Our wide receivers had pretty decent games. I still want Jamison Crowder to get more involved, but that's difficult because no wide receiver had considerably more targets than anybody else. And we still want more of Chris Thompson. There isn't enough time in the game to let everybody go off, especially with Josh Doctson and Terrell Pryor improving and expanding their roles, specifically Josh Doctson more than Pryor. But Josh Doctson had a nice grab for a touchdown in that first drive play that I showed earlier.
Screen. Cousins to the middle of the field, complete, and that is a Redskin touchdown, Josh Doctson.
Ryan Grant also made some plays. One catch he had over the middle, knowing he was going to get hit hard, was a great play to convert that 3rd and long, which eventually led to a much needed field goal.
The extra pressure is picked up. Cousins on target for a first down. Ryan Grant at the...
And watch Ryan Grant pushes to the outside. Now he breaks middle. You know that safety's dropping down, so it's not only the route making the catch, but completing the catch after the contact.
Cousins over 200 yards passing.
Terrell made some nice moves on some routes and had good separation at moments, but Kirk just so happened to be inaccurate most of those plays. They just couldn't get their rhythm together. Hopefully they improve on that a lot. We're going to need AJ Green part 2 to get going for real. But as a side note, Kirk Cousins' passer rating is at its highest when targeting Ryan Grant and at its second highest when targeting Josh Doctson. But overall, shouts out to the offense for playing well. Took their feet off the gas for a while, but got back on it when we needed it most. Just need these tight ends to block somebody, please. We are not going to beat the Eagles this week playing like that. Now this defense, it was a very weird day for them. The people we expected to play great and step up were not necessarily doing so, at least consistently. And we also have a ninja scroll of injuries, and I'm proud that the defense and young players on defense did what they had to do to make it out with a win. Starting with this D-line. The trenches played pretty well, specifically second-year player Matt Ioannidis and rookie Jonathan Allen. They have been wreaking havoc on opposing offensive lines. Minus Matt Ioannidis' fail at run stopping on this touchdown play where he got completely driven back.
Touchdown 49ers. Carlos Hyde.
Him and Jonathan Allen have been playing lights out, especially in the pass rush field. Matt Ioannidis ranks 2nd in pass rush productivity out of 107 eligible interior defensive linemen. Jonathan Allen ranks 5th, and that's the main reason we are going to miss Jonathan Allen while he's out with this injury. He's supposed to be out for 8 weeks or maybe all season, which is super sad. His production is crazy, especially for a rookie. The offensive lines are just going to focus their attention on blocking Ioannidis, because who else do they have to worry about? Terrell McClain ranks 64th, Stacey McGee ranks 68th, and Ziggy Hood Sloppy South ranks 102nd. There's only 107. Jonathan Allen's injury is a big hit to this defense. It's so bad that if we are serious about this playoff run, we need to pick up somebody to at least try and make up for his production, because I highly doubt it's going to come from those other 3. Jonathan Allen has had more pressures than them 3 combined so far this year, and that's tragic. Now these outside linebackers. Ryan Kerrigan had this one big play.
Let's go with our young guys.
Beathard wanted to go deep, and he's going to get sacked.
But was just simply average for the rest of the game. Junior Gillette was also non-existent. He had like 1 rush I can remember that was decent. He didn't have a QB pressure at all though. Ryan Anderson only played on 9 snaps. Didn't really do anything on those snaps. He's actually having a below average year so far. Preston Smith didn't have a great game, but at least he played slightly better than the other outside linebackers. He split a sack with Matt Ioannidis, and this is Preston's 5th straight game with at least 1 sack. He also defended a pass, lit up CJ Beathard for a QB hit, and also tackled Carlos Hyde for a 3-yard loss. As a total group, the outside linebackers were meh against the 49ers. The inside linebacker group probably had his least productive game of the season. Zach Brown had a nice play in the first quarter.
Penalty moves it to the 45, and on first down, Hyde is smothered by Zach Brown.
But he also missed a tackle on CJ Beathard in the late 4th quarter that literally should have cost us the game.
49ers today. Beathard to try and get the first down, and does, and then gets out of bounds.
How do you let him get all of those extra yards and let him get out of bounds to stop the clock too? Terrible play. He also had a few blown coverages. He did not look like himself out there. And Mason Foster was, didn't really see much out of him. But it's hard to be mad at both of them when both of them played every single defensive snap this game. Will Compton and Montrell Spate only got special team snaps. And Josh Harvey-Clemens was inactive. Zach Brown and Mason Foster looked better earlier in the game, but I'm guessing they just got tired. They both played 72 snaps each. That's crazy. The cornerbacks, man. These young boys are stepping up big time, specifically Quentin Dunbar and Kendall Fuller. Josh Norman didn't suit up, and Bashard Breeland got hurt midway through the third quarter when Joe Staley clipped him on a running play.
Raheem Mostert comes in as running back, and he gets the pitch. Free agent in that backfield behind Hyde and Matt Breida, and it looks like Breeland is down for the Redskins. Comes in as running back.
And it's crazy too because Breeland got hurt on a play that should have never even happened. Pierre Garçon false started, but it wasn't called. The rest were hating on both teams all game real hard. But Breeland managed to have 6 solo tackles and 1 pass defended in that limited amount of time. So then here comes Quentin and Kendall. Quentin Dunbar played his tail off. He had a team high 6 solo and 8 total tackles. He had 2 passes defended. He was targeted 14 times but only gave up 8 receptions for 82 yards, which is 5.9 yards per target. Pro Football Focus loves him. With their math, he's the highest rated defensive player on the Redskins in the second straight game. For the year, he's the second highest rated defensive player period on our team and the third highest rated player on both sides of the ball. But who's the highest rated defensive player through our first 5 games period? Second year corner, technically a rookie because he was injured all last year, Kendall Fuller. He is our best underneath zone defender on the team. He made the game-ending interception where he made a great read, reading the QB's eyes the whole time, just like Josh Norman does. He jumped the route that wasn't even a sign for him to cover and ended the game.
6, Bill Walsh, his first year, 1979. Intercepted. The Redskins with the closeout from Kendall Fuller. Another close defeat for San Francisco.
Kind of guarding the perimeter. You got your distances guarded here. And watch as the play develops. You know where your yard marker's out. You jump that route in between.
He's going crazy this year, just like I hope. He had first round talent, but was injured during the draft process. This season, the combined passer rating for quarterbacks targeting him is 40.5. Throwing an incompletion gives a quarterback a 39.6 passer rating. So it's almost statistically smarter to just throw the ball out of bounds than to try to even throw it near Kendall Fuller. That's some lockdown. But beyond Fuller and Dunbar, we were reaching deep within our roster to throw some more corners out there. Josh Hoesley played his first 5 snaps of his career. All of these snaps were on that final drive, but he was never targeted, so he didn't have much of a chance to make a significant impact. And my boy Fabian Monroe was out there looking meh on his 34 snaps. He looks like a rookie that missed almost all of his first NFL training camp. He looks unprepared. He has the physical tools and natural abilities to be a shutdown corner, but that's going to take some time. He wasn't expecting to be playing this soon, especially for 34 snaps in a single game. He just got thrown out there to the wolves, and it shows. He had 3 tackles and a pass defended and had a redeeming recovered onside kick after he had that terribly blown coverage that gave the 49ers a quick 7 points that they desperately needed to even have a chance of coming back.
And he'll throw on the run. Wide open. Aldrick Robinson. Touchdown 49ers.
Exactly right, Chris. You know, he just ran on the last one. Boy, everybody just turns him free. Fabian Monroe thinks there's safety help over the top, but Monty Nicholson, I think, had his.
But keep your head up, Mr. Future Lockup. Get a year under your belt, and people will see what you really got. I'm telling y'all. The safeties played well, minus that one really bad, boneheaded, unnecessary roughness by DJ Swearinger on a play that should have led to a 4th down field goal kick, but led to this.
Carlos Hyde, touchdown 49ers.
DJ played like DJ Swearinger, leading the defense, leading a very young and inexperienced defensive back group. He played on all but 1 defensive snap, which was because he had a minor shoulder injury. DJ Swearinger defended a pass that should have been an interception, but did most of his work in the box with rookie Monty Nicholson playing deep. 3 of his 6 tackles were within 1 yard of the line of scrimmage. Pro Football Focus had him rated as our 2nd most productive defensive player against the 49ers. Rookie Monty Nicholson played his career high in snaps with 60 63. I didn't expect him to play so many snaps when we drafted him, but a lot of unpredictable events took place, and also, he's out here playing very well. When we drafted him, I knew he was athletic and had potential and talent, but the film I watched on him in Michigan State just didn't impress me at all. But now, he's coming out balling in the NFL. He has 6 total tackles and 1 pass defended. He still occasionally makes some rookie mistakes, but you can clearly see he has the talent to be special. Everything he needs to improve on is mental. He has all of the physical tools to be a premier safety in this league. Stephen McClure even found himself getting 10 snaps with all the injuries to our secondary. DeShazier Everett was inactive, but even McClure got hurt. So again, the backups of the backups were even getting hurt. I mean, it's crazy. But overall, the defense did what they had to do. Had a lot of veterans not looking like themselves. Had some backups and rookies stepping up just enough for us to get the dub. Linebackers inside and out were super meh. The D-line played well for the most part. The DBs had up and downs, but more ups. Our defense is now tied for first in the NFL and allowed 20-plus yard rushing plays with only 1. Our defense is tied for first in the NFL for second down conversion percentage with only 20.2. We rank first in the NFC in opponent quarterback rating allowed with an average of 59.8. Ugly. Pretty good stats, defense. Our defense is much improved from last year. They were locking up against Brian Hoyer, but when CJ Beathard came in, it was a completely different story. But they did just enough to get the win, and that's all that really matters. Our kickers didn't have the best of games out there. Dustin Hopkins missed a very crucial PAT that should have put us up by 10 instead of 9, but he was injured. He's out for season now. And Tress Way, that last punt before that nail-biting last drive by the 49ers, why did he punt it straight into the end zone? The way he kicked it, it's like he didn't even try to punt it to within the 20-yard line. Did somebody tell him to kick it like that? If he had kicked to within the 20-yard line, the 49ers would have had more yards to gain the score, but most importantly, it would have run some time off the clock. That punt made no sense. But overall, shouts out to the Skins for getting that dub. After week 6, we ranked first in the NFL in fewest penalty yards. Great discipline amongst the team, minus that Preston Smith versus the Chiefs. That was just ridiculous. But shouts out to the coaches for keeping our players disciplined. We are tied for first in the NFL in winning percentage in games decided by 3 points or less with 100%. Good to see us usually coming up clutch. But sadly, we have a slew of injuries that I'm going to report in the injury report before the game Monday night. Get well soon, everybody. But that's it for this episode. Thanks for the view. Thank goodness we found a way to win that, because with the win, everybody is relieved. No real prizes or accolades handed out. But if we would have lost, boy, this week would have been hectic. But make sure y'all Dolemite fake punch that like button, favorite, subscribe. I'll subscribe back, especially if you have your profile on public, because if it's on private and you subscribe, I just see my number go up, but I can't see who did it. I don't get an email, I don't get a YouTube notification or anything. So just let me know you subscribed if you did. And most importantly, comment and share. And again, thank y'all for the support. I'll catch y'all later. I'm out.